feel of Zeep steel. The iron bars, crafted from the legendary Zeep steel, exuded an aura of cold, precise power. Tammy picked up one of the bars, feeling the weight and texture. The coldness of the Zeep steel seeped into his fingertips, sending a shiver up his spine. The steel was smooth yet solid, its surface a canvas of intricate carvings that shimmered under the sunlight. Each pattern was a testament to the artistry and skill of the craftsman who had forged these bars. Tammy pressed the button on the leather case. The spring mechanism activated with a sharp, decisive click, and the iron bar leaped upward, ready for action. Tammy caught it effortlessly, the bar's weight settling comfortably in his hand. He raised the iron bar, letting the light play across its surface. The carved patterns sparkled, creating a visual symphony of light and shadow. It was a beauty that was both flexible and sharp, a perfect blend of form and function. The silver moonlight technique, Tammy took a deep breath, centering himself. The rock ahead loomed large, a silent witness to the test he was about to undertake. His eyes narrowed with focus, and he began to summon the energy within him. The silver moonlight technique was a movement of grace and power, a testament to his years of training and discipline. It required absolute precision and control, qualities that Tommy had honed to perfection. With a fluid motion, Tammy deployed the technique. His body moved with the grace of a dancer and the strength of a warrior. The iron bar, an extension of his will, was launched with impeccable accuracy. It tore through the air with a sharp hiss, the heavier lead-reinforced head guiding its trajectory. The iron bar flew like a silver arrow, bright and graceful, cutting through the sunlight with ease. Impact and aftermath. The iron bar struck the rock with a sharp, resonant clang. The sound echoed through the chamber, a testament to the iron bar's power and precision. The tip of the iron bar pierced the hard surface of the rock, embedding itself deeply within. The tail vibrated slightly, a final note in the symphony of movement and impact, before coming to a complete stop. The rock, which had seemed so impenetrable moments before, now bore the mark of Tommy's skill. Tommy stood still, his breath steady and his eyes fixed on the iron bar. He had executed the silver moonlight technique perfectly, each movement a testament to his mastery. The iron bar, now a part of the rock, symbolized his triumph. Tommy felt a deep sense of satisfaction and pride. He had proven not only his skill, but also the unparalleled quality of the Zeep steel and the artistry of its creators. The setting dawn had just broken on the top of Mount Evie, casting the first rays of sunlight across the lush forest that surrounded the mountain. The open field where Tommy and Rondu stood was bathed in a soft golden light, making everything appear lively and fresh. The air was cool and crisp, filled with the sounds of waking nature. It was the perfect setting for swordplay training, a place where the mind could focus and the body could move freely. Introduction to the Ice Storm Sword. Tommy stood with a calm and confident demeanor, his sword held lightly in his hand. He looked at Rondu, who was eager and attentive, ready to learn. With a gentle smile, Tommy spoke. Today I will teach you the Ice Storm Sword. It consists of 27 different techniques, 9 for close combat and 18 for attacks from afar. Rondu nodded, absorbing every word. He was ready to dive into the intricate world of the Ice Storm Sword, a technique known for its beauty and deadly power. Close combat techniques. Tammy began with the basics, guiding Rondu through each close combat technique in detail. Frostfang. Tammy stepped forward with a swift, lightning-like strike. The sword sliced through the air, leaving a trail of cold energy behind it. This is Frostfang, Tammy explained. It's a precise and rapid strike, meant to catch your opponent off guard. Rondu mirrored the movement, feeling the power of the strike and the cold energy that accompanied it. Blizzard Slash. Next, Tammy demonstrated a series of continuous slashes, each one as fast as a snowstorm. Blizzard Slash, she said, requires speed and endurance. Each blow must carry the power of ice, relentless and overwhelming. Rondu practiced the sequence, his movements becoming more fluid and powerful with each attempt. Glacial Thrust. With a sharp, straight thrust, Tommy's sword moved like an ice spear, piercing the air with precision. Glacial Thrust is about power and accuracy, aimed to penetrate your opponent's defense directly. Rondu focused on his target, feeling the sharpness of the thrust as he executed it perfectly. Snowflake Spin. Tommy spun gracefully, his sword creating a whirling tornado of snow. Snowflake Spin covers all directions, making it difficult for opponents to find an opening. Rondu followed suit, spinning with agility and creating a defensive and offensive barrier around him. Icebreaker Chop. A powerful slash from above, Tammy's sword seemed to shatter the air like ice breaking into small pieces. Icebreaker Chop is for when you need to break through an opponent's guard with sheer force. Rondu executed the chop, feeling the impact of the powerful strike. Frozen Edge. With a swift, slicing motion, Tammy's sword cut through the air like an icy wind. Frozen Edge is about speed and precision. It cuts through everything in its path. Rondu practiced the swift motion, aiming to perfect the cutting power of the technique. Icy Embrace. Tammy moved quickly, getting close to Rondu and using short, powerful attacks. Icy Embrace is for close quarters, where you need to deliver rapid and powerful blows. Rondu felt the intensity of the technique, practicing the close combat strikes with focus. Hailstorm Flurry. A series of quick blows followed, each one like a cold ice cube falling from the sky. Hailstorm Flurry is relentless and fast. Overwhelm your opponent with speed. Rondu's movements became faster, each strike more precise and powerful. Winter's Bite. Finally, Tammy combined gentle moves with powerful attacks, like a cold bite from winter. Winter's Bite is about balance and surprise. Lure your opponent in with gentle moves and strike with power. Rondu practiced the combination, feeling the rhythm and balance of the technique. Remote fighting techniques. With the close combat techniques mastered, Tammy moved on to the remote fighting techniques, guiding Rondu through each one with the same level of detail and expertise. Snowstorm Sweep. Tammy swung his sword, creating a blanket of cold air that spread outwards. Snowstorm Sweep is about control and range. Clear the area around you with this powerful sweep. Rondu practiced the wide arc, feeling the cold energy spreading from his sword. Frozen Wind. A slash released a cold wind that attacked from afar. Frozen Wind allows you to strike from a distance using the power of ice. Rondu focused on directing the cold wind with his sword, honing his long-range attack. Arctic Arrow. Tammy launched his sword like an ice arrow, hitting the target accurately. Arctic Arrow is about precision and speed. Your sword becomes an arrow. Rondu practiced the throw, aiming for accuracy and speed. Glacial Wave. A wave of ice spread out from Tammy's sword, attacking opponents at a distance. Glacial Wave covers a broad area, useful for multiple opponents. Rondu felt the power of the wave, practicing the broad sweep of his sword. Ice Shard Blast. Tammy launched a series of sharp ice shards from his blade. Ice Shard Blast is a series of long-distance attacks. Each shard must hit its mark. Rondu practiced launching the shards, focusing on accuracy and power. Blizzard Barrage. A series of quick and consecutive sword strikes followed. Blizzard Barrage is about speed and consistency. Overwhelm your opponents with rapid strikes. Rondu's movements became faster, each strike following the next in quick succession. Frost Nova. A stream of cold air radiated from Tammy's sword. Frost Nova paralyzes and damages opponents around you. It's about control and power. Rondu practiced the radiating strikes, feeling the cold energy spread around him. Ice Spear. A powerful sword strike launched like an ice spear. Ice Spear is a focused and powerful attack, ideal for single targets. Rondu practiced the focused strike, aiming for precision and power. Winter Wind. A slash created a blast of cold wind, pushing opponents back. Winter Wind is about disrupting your opponent's balance. Rondu practiced the disruptive slash, feeling the force of the cold wind. Snowflake Dance. Tammy's sword strokes were gentle and graceful, creating a performance like falling snowflakes. Snowflake Dance combines beauty and power, distracting and attacking simultaneously. Rondu practiced the graceful movements, feeling the balance of beauty and power. Frozen Wave. Another wave of ice spread out from Tammy's sword. Frozen Wave is similar to Glacial Wave, but focuses more on impact. Rondu practiced the impactful wave, feeling the power of his sword. Hailstorm Blast. A series of fast and powerful attacks followed. Hailstorm Blast is about relentless pressure. Rondu's movements became a flurry of strikes, each one powerful and fast. Ice Wall. A sword blast created an ice wall in front of Tammy. Ice Wall is defensive, preventing opponents from getting closer. Rondu practiced the defensive technique, feeling the solidity of the ice wall. Glacial Blast. A powerful slash created a blast of cold air knocking opponents back. Glacial Blast is about control and power. Rondu practiced the powerful slash, feeling the impact of the cold air. Frostbite Strike. A strike from afar caused the opponent to feel as if bitten by frost. Frostbite Strike is about precision and debilitating your opponent. Rondu practiced the precise strike, aiming to deliver the chilling effect. Icy Tornado. Tammy spun his sword, creating a tornado of ice. Icy Tornado covers a wide area, taking everything in its path. Rondu practiced the spinning technique, feeling the power of the tornado. Snowdrift Slice. A sword slash created a stream of cold air, attacking from afar. Snowdrift Slice is about range and precision. Rondu practiced the precise and far-reaching slash. Arctic Wave. A slash created a powerful ice wave, hitting opponents from afar. Arctic Wave combines power and range. Rondu practiced the powerful wave, feeling the reach and impact of his strike. Mastery and Reflection. As the training session progressed, Rondu felt his skills and confidence growing. Each technique of the Ice Storm sword was unique, requiring a blend of strength, precision, and control. Tommy's guidance was invaluable, his movements a perfect demonstration of mastery and elegance. Under the rising sun on Mount Evi, Rondu's training was filled with excitement and determination. The fresh morning air, the vibrant surroundings, and the powerful techniques all combined to create an unforgettable experience. Initial struggles. Rondu stood on the summit of Mount Evi, the early morning light casting a serene glow over the landscape. Despite his careful observations of Tommy's demonstrations, Rondu found the practice of the Ice Storm sword to be an arduous task. The ice sword felt heavy in his hands, its weight a constant reminder of the skill and strength required to wield it effectively. His initial attempts were awkward and imprecise, lacking the fluidity and grace that Tommy had displayed. First day, Frostfang. Determined to master the basics, Rondu began with Frostfang, a swift and sharp sword strike designed to catch opponents off guard. He positioned himself, took a deep breath, and executed the move. However, his sword did not travel in the intended direction, nor did it achieve the necessary speed. The sword felt cumbersome, his hands moving out of sync with his will. Frustration threatened to take hold, but Rondu resolved to persevere. He repeated the technique over and over, each time seeking to correct his form and enhance his speed. Second day, Blizzard Slash. Undeterred by the challenges of the previous day, Rondu returned to his training ground with renewed determination. Today, he focused on Blizzard Slash, a technique involving a series of rapid, continuous slashing attacks. Initially, his strikes were sporadic and lacked power, but with patience and persistence, he began to find the rhythm and force required. Each slash grew stronger, the cold air around him starting to mimic the ferocity of a snowstorm. He could feel the power building within him, his confidence slowly increasing with each successful attempt. Third day, Glacial Thrust. The third day brought new challenges as Rondu practiced Glacial Thrust, a technique that required a straight, powerful, and precise thrust. The thrust demanded stability and precision, qualities that Rondu struggled to maintain. However, he could sense progress. Each thrust felt more controlled and forceful, resembling an ice spear designed to penetrate even the most formidable defenses. Mistakes were still present, but they became fewer and less significant. The image of an imaginary opponent falling to his thrusts fueled his determination to improve. Fourth day, Snowflake Spin. As dawn illuminated the top of Mount Evi on the fourth day, Rondu dedicated his practice to Snowflake Spin. This technique required him to spin gracefully, his sword creating a whirling tornado of snow. The initial attempts were clumsy, his movements lacking the fluidity needed to perform the spin correctly. However, with each rotation, he began to feel the flexibility and strength that the technique demanded. The imaginary snowflakes swirling around him created a beautiful yet powerful sight, inspiring him to refine his movements further. Fifth day, Icebreaker Chop. The fifth day was devoted to mastering Icebreaker Chop, a powerful downward slash meant to shatter an opponent's defense. Rondu concentrated on delivering the slash with both power and accuracy. The first attempts were weak, the sword lacking the force needed to create a significant impact. Yet, as he focused his mind and energy into each movement, the slashes grew stronger. The imaginary ice before him seemed to shatter with each strike, a testament to his growing skill and determination. Results after weeks of practice. Weeks passed, each day bringing with it incremental improvements. Rondu's persistent practice began to bear fruit. The techniques of the Ice Storm sword, once awkward and imprecise, became smooth and flexible. The sword no longer felt heavy and unwieldy. Instead, it moved as an extension of his will. Each strike, each move, demonstrated the elegance and icy power inherent in the Ice Storm sword. Under the rising sun on Mount Eevee, Rondu and his ice sword seemed to merge into one. The hard work and determination he had invested in his training paid off. His movements were no longer those of a novice, but of a skilled swordsman. Every technique, from close combat to ranged attacks, was executed with proficiency and power, creating the impression of an unstoppable snowstorm. Diligent practice. After months of diligent practice, Rondu finally completed the 27 sword techniques of the Ice Storm sword. Every early morning, as dawn barely kissed the peaks of Mount Eevee, Rondu was already at the training ground. The frigid air stung his skin, but he welcomed it, holding the ice sword firmly, readying himself for another grueling day of training. Close combat practice. Rondu dedicated countless hours to mastering the 9 close combat techniques. Every move, every slash, every stab was a study in precision. Initially, the Frost Fang, Blizzard Slash, and Glacial Thrust felt awkward, as if his limbs resisted the unnatural fluidity required. Yet with patience and unyielding determination, he improved. His slashes grew sharper, cutting through the air with a piercing whistle. His thrusts gained power, driving the blade forward with unwavering force. The once clumsy spins of Snowflake Spin evolved into graceful, ballet-like movements, embodying both elegance and deadly efficiency. Distance fighting practice. The 18 distance fighting techniques demanded not only strength, but also a delicate balance of precision and control. Hours were spent perfecting the Snowstorm Sweep, Frozen Wind, and Arctic Arrow. At first, conjuring cold air and launching swords from afar felt insurmountable. Yet, under Tammy's watchful guidance, Rondu persevered. His blasts of cold air grew formidable, cutting through the training dummies with ease. His sword throws became lethal in their accuracy, while ranged attacks like Glacial Wave and Ice Shard Blast unleashed torrents of icy fury, obliterating targets with chilling precision. Results after months of practice. Today's outcome was nothing short of miraculous. While Rondu still had years ahead to reach the elite level, his progress in such a short time was astonishing. Tammy, who had taken over 3 years to master the 27 techniques, watched in awe. He saw the relentless determination in Rondu's eyes, knowing the countless challenges his student had overcome to reach this point. From a distance, Tammy observed Rondu execute each technique with a newfound confidence and precision. Each strike radiated the icy power and refined beauty of the Ice Storm sword. Powerful slashes, pinpoint stabs, and distant blasts of freezing air all displayed his remarkable progress. As Rondu completed the final technique, Tammy approached, placing a firm hand on his shoulder. "You did great, Rondu. Today's results are a testament to your tireless efforts. Continue to practice and perfect your skills. With perseverance and determination, you will reach a superior level in the near future." Rondu smiled, his eyes shining with pride and hope. He knew the journey ahead was long, but with Tommy's support and an unbreakable spirit, he was ready to continue. Day by day, hour by hour, he would move forward on the path to perfecting the Ice Storm sword, his resolve as unyielding as the ice he wielded.